Hello there gentle viewers, welcome to a video, and in today's video we're just going to be looking at what lesbian film loaves are going to be coming out of the 2026 oven. Forbidden homosexual bread. The first film in the Centers on Lesbianism category is Hayley Kiyoko's directorial debut, Girls Like Girls, starring Maya DaCosta and Myra Malloy. Based on Hayley Kiyoko's hit single and best-selling novel of the same name, Girls Like Girls is a coming-of-age story set over the course of one sun-drenched summer, where new girl in town Coley falls in love for the first time while learning to accept herself along the way. Wow, it feels like 2015 all over again. Now, lesbian coming of age and coming out films are not exactly groundbreaking in 2026, but that said, we don't live in a perfect post-homophobic world, and this kind of story and representation is still important, especially when it features women of colour. There's no trailer for the film yet, but going by Kiyoko's previous visual works, I feel like this production is likely to be of good quality. So I will be watching this not only for the mid-2010s nostalgia, but to support lesbian Jesus like the good Christian homosexual woman I am. The next film is Montreal My Beautiful, directed by Xiaodan He, and I'd just like to take the time here to apologise for the poor pronunciation of any names throughout this video. I have one brain cell and she's been dangerously close to walking out on me for a while now. Thank you for your understanding. And this film stars my crush Joan Chen and not my crush but still a queen, Charlotte Orbin. Now, as a disclaimer, this film premiered at festivals in 2025, but it's going to be released in theatres this year, hence why it's in this video. Montreal My Beautiful is about a Chinese-Canadian immigrant wife and mother living in Montreal, Quebec, who embarks on a journey of self-discovery when she meets and falls in love with Camille, a free-spirited younger woman. Now, this is the film I'm most looking forward to watching this year because A, I'm a Killing Eve fan. The combination of an older Asian lady with a younger white woman is a winning combination with me and what God intended. And B, Joan Chen also played the mother in the iconic lesbian film Saving Face. So she is lesbian film royalty and I have to pay my respects. That aside, the film also looks well made and promising in the acting, directing and cinematography departments. And it also brings something fresh to the table with the type of representation it offers. So, in conclusion, I am seated. The next film is Love Me Tender, directed by Anna Kazanav-Combert and starring Vicky Krieps and Monia Cherie. This is another film which premiered at festivals in 2025, but is coming to theatres in 2026. Love Me Tender is a French drama based on the autobiographical novel of the same name, and it follows the heart-wrenching story of Clemence, who, after coming out as a lesbian, finds herself embroiled in a custody battle with her former husband over their son, Paul. So, from the trailer, this film looks incredibly intense. Nothing light and frothy to see here, folks, but it's interesting that it's based on a true story, and like Montreal My Beautiful, it looks like a well-made production full of promising performances. These filmmakers are not messing around this year. The next film is The Little Sister, which is directed by Hafsia Erzi and stars Nadia Militi and Park Ji-min. Based on the novel The Last One, the film follows 17-year-old Fatima as she embarks on a journey of lesbian self-discovery while trying to balance the hopes and expectations of her French-Algerian Muslim family. So, from the trailer, this film looks like it's going to be a meaningful addition to lesbian cinema, with it exploring how same-sex attraction intersects with religion and more traditional cultures. And it also offers a source of important representation for lesbian women of colour and lesbian Muslims too. Alongside that, on a technical level, I think this looks like a thoughtful and solid production. I'm already impressed with the performances I've seen from the trailer, so this is looking to be another worthwhile watch from this year's lesbian offerings. The next film is The Housekeeper, which is directed by Richard Eyre and stars Uma Thurman and Phoebe Dynevor. The film is based on Rose Tremaine's novel of the same name, about a housekeeper at Cornwall's Mandeville Hall who has a passionate affair with the novelist Daphne du Maurier. Now, I've already spoken about this film in my Lesbian Film Releases 2025 video, but since it's not actually being released until this year, I thought I'd mention it here too. There's still no trailer for this film, so yeah, I mean, I see the vision for lesbian Uma Thurman, but I don't really have have anything new to say about the film at this stage. So moving on. The next film is Give Me the Ball, which is a documentary film about Billie Jean King, directed by Liz Garbus and Elizabeth Wolfe. Through rare archival footage and candid interviews, Garbus and Wolfe trace Billie Jean King's groundbreaking impact on sports and culture, revealing the personal cost of her fight for equity, and present an intimate portrait of King's competitive drive and historic victories, centering her stories in her own words with striking honesty and perspective. Now, I wasn't sure whether to include this film under the category of films which centre on lesbianism, but since the documentary explores Billie Jean King's personal journey alongside her professional one, I think it fits. King's sexuality is a significant part of her story, and she has contributed so much to lesbian representation in sports and media. So, from the sounds of it, this documentary should make for an interesting watch. The first film in the lesbianism is not the focus, but still a notable element category, is Kristen Stewart's directorial debut, The Chronology of Water, starring Imogen Poots and Thora Birch. The Chronology of Water is a biological, psychological drama based on the 2011 book of the same name, and it follows Lydia, a young woman who finds escape from an abusive home through competitive swimming in the 1980s. After her athletic dreams are derailed, she navigates love, loss, addiction, sexuality, and her own self-destructive impulses, while discovering her voice and healing through the transformative act of writing. So, The Chronology of Water is both directed and written by Kristen Stewart, who has long fed the lesbian community well with her general gay aura, and from the trailer, her work looks artistically intriguing and intelligent. However, it also looks incredibly heavy and poignant, so I will be watching this, but I will also be downloading emergency kitten videos to watch afterwards as well. The next film is Lady, directed by Olive Nwosu and starring Jessica Gabriel's Uja and Amanda Ora. Lady is a Nigerian drama that explores themes of same-sex desire, economic hardship, womanhood, and radical friendship. And it follows a fiercely independent taxi driver whose life changes when she becomes entangled with a close-knit group of sex workers after fuel subsidy cuts upend her livelihood. So I can't find a trailer for this film anywhere, but from the synopsis, it sounds like an interesting production that shines a light on some incredibly important issues through a black female lens. So definitely one to watch out for, especially if you're interested in the themes that this film explores. The next film is Mother Mary, directed by David Lowery and starring Anne Hathaway and Michaela Coel. Mother Mary is an epic melodrama about an iconic pop star, Mother Mary, who reunites with her estranged best friend and former costume designer, Sam Anselm, on the eve of her comeback performance, causing long-buried wounds to rise to the surface. Like The Housekeeper, this is another film I have already spoken about in my Lesbian Film Releases 2025 video, and since it's being released this year, I'm mentioning it here as well. However, unlike last year, we now have a trailer which proved my initial suspicions of this film being a gay man's fever dream correct. I will say the performances from Hathaway and Coel look promising, and the film also looks like it will be artistically rich. I mean, gay man's fever dream. Duh. And this one precious crumb of Anne Hathaway committing sapphic activity has added 5 years onto my lifespan. I've seen enough. Take my money. So I'm going to give this film a chance, but with my expectations in check, because whilst I think the trailer looks good, it was also giving I attended a class in the school of Ryan Murphy writing female characters and dynamics vibes, and that got old in like 2012, so we'll see. The first film in the potential lesbian crumbs category is Forbidden Fruits, which is directed by Meredith Alloway and stars Lily Reinhart and Victoria Pedretti. The film is based on Lily Houghton's stage play Of the Women Came the Beginning of Sin and Through Her We All Die, and is about a woman named Apple who leads a secret witch cult at a mall store with co-workers Cherry and Fig. When new hire Pumpkin questions their sisterhood, it forces the women to confront their inner darkness or meet violent ends. I have included this in the the lesbian crumbs category, mostly because there are rumours that there is a sapphic element in this film. I mean, the name of the film is Forbidden Fruits. However, nothing has been officially confirmed, and these rumours may just be based off of the vibes of the film. So this is a wait and see situation. I will say that from what I can gather about the film so far, even if there is a sapphic element, it is likely to be minor. However, a lesbian crumb is still a lesbian crumb, and we are but tiny mice, especially where Victoria Pedretti is potentially involved in said crumbs. The next film is Scream 7, directed by Kevin Williamson and starring Neve Campbell and McKenna Grace. In this latest chapter of Scream, a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where OG Sydney Prescott has built a new life, and her darkest fears are realised as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sydney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. I just want to say that when I first heard about Scream 7, my initial reaction was, what sad millennials keep pumping money into this franchise? The 90s are over, just let it die. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks kind of good. I think I want to see this. Oh my god, I am that sad millennial. It was mortifying. So Scream 7 is in the lesbian crumbs category because Jasmine Savoy Brown has reprised her role as Mindy Meeks Martin in it, meaning there will be a lesbian character in the film. However, whether Mindy says one line and then dies immediately, or spends half of the movie furiously making out with a woman who is later revealed to be Ghostface is TBC. And the final film with potential lesbian crumbs is Heartstopper Forever, directed by Paul Westmoreland and starring Kit Connor and Joe Locke. Heartstopper Forever wraps up Nick and Charlie's story, picking up after season 3 as Nick heads to university, with looming long distance testing their relationship. While their friends navigate their own coming of age moments, Nick and Charlie discover if first love can truly last forever amidst endings and new beginnings. Yes, I know Heartstopper centres around a gay couple, but Tara and Darcy, who for those who don't know are a lesbian couple in the series, are confirmed as being in the film, so I am placing it in the lesbian crumbs category because of them. Now, whether they simply make a cameo where they wave at Nick and Charlie from a distance, or they spend half the movie furiously making out before one of them is revealed to be Ghostface, is TBC. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the films coming out this year down in the comments section below. Yeah, this year's lesbian film offerings were a little light on the comedy and not suffering, but I guess our joy is the sacrifice that had to be made in order to see Anne Hathaway kiss another woman on screen. The universe gives and she takes away. Don't forget to subscribe for more homosexuality and hot chocolate, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.